Hello, it's me again, Yana Seashell, and I have my little umbrella up now because the sun is like right in my eyes. So I'm lazy, I guess. I'm just not gonna move. I'm just gonna use my umbrella. So yeah, not trying to look cute and well, yeah, a little bit, but anyway, I'm using the umbrella is practical. Okay, it's definitely practical. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and get started. I wanted to talk on a subject that's going to be a little controversial, and I'm sorry to have to bring it up, but I think it's a discussion that, as Muslimas, as Muslim women, we really need to discuss. And that topic is makeup. I know some of you have probably already clicked off, like, nope, don't want to hear it. But I think it's something that we do need to discuss. I'm not here to judge anyone. I struggled with makeup for a long time. I still struggle, which I didn't even think that I did, but I still struggle with it because, for example, what I didn't realize is right before filming this, I started thinking, you know what? I'm going to be on camera. Maybe I should, fill in my eyebrows because I have like very sparse eyebrows there. Put a little bit of color because I look sort of washed out at times. But you know what? Right before I filmed this, I started looking on some of the other Muslim women's YouTube channels, and they were just so inspiring. And their imam was just, as from what I could see, was strong, and they just look so beautiful without makeup. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. So I was actually starting to feel self conscious, and uh, thought about putting on makeup when I don't even wear it normally. So that tells you how the insecurity gets to us, how what we think about how other people judging. Sometimes people judge you without makeup, right? So all of that gets to us, and got to me, and I almost was going to put on some before filming it, but I said, hey, I'm just gonna. I mean, which makes no sense because in my normal everyday life I don't wear it, but then on the camera I'm gonna wear it. That's just kind of weird, and it gives a false impression as well. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. But anyway, I did want to discuss that what led me to be able to actually stop wearing the makeup. And believe me, there was a lot of, you know, false starts and abrupt departures and third and fourth and fifth and sixth attempts over and over again. It definitely was a struggle. I think what actually made it easier was when I actually, because this was a while back when I first became a Muslim, and then even afterwards, even after being established as a Muslim, I kind of ventured back into the makeup, and then I left it once again. So like I said, it's been a journey. But what really just made me have to give it up was when I started making all of my salats on time with proper wudu. Okay, emphasize with proper wudu, because realistically there's no way you're going to be able to make all of your salats with proper wudu throughout the day and have the makeup, because you'll have to completely, it'll wash off and then you'll have to reapply it. And so I tried that. I was like, okay, well, I'll make wudu and then I'll just put it back on, and then I'll make wudu again if I have to and put it back on. And of course, you don't have to. And now, you know what? I forgot to mention. Wudu means the actual washing with water, how we wash our face and our hands and arms and feet and, hair, ears, nose, mouth, that type of thing. It's the ritual prayer ablution that we wash with water before we say our prayer, which is salat. So I would just do that. I'm like, okay, I'll just make wudu, wash for prayer, and then after I'm done, I'll put it back on. That didn't last for very long. After a few days of doing that, I was like, first of all, after I would do that, I would go and look in the mirror, and I had eyeliner running. I had patches of makeup in the crevices and makeup on my hijab, especially with a white hijab. And I was like, you know what? I look like the Dark Knight, okay? Like, this is not going to work. So, right then, I basically had to make a decision. Which is more important? Is it more important to have your makeup look nice? Or is it more important to make your salat with proper wudu? Because here's the thing, you may be able to go a few salats without breaking it. And what I mean by that is that as a Muslim, you have to have a purification to be in a state of or in a state of purification for your prayer. What breaks that is if you go to the restroom, passing gas, sick and vomiting. There's a couple of things that actually break that, where you have to basically do the purification with the water over again. So most people, normal people, you are going to probably have to visit the restroom, at least once, possibly more. And of course, there's passing gas or something like that. Falling asleep as well. If you take a nap and you're just out, you're like really asleep. When you wake up, you're going to have to make wudu again. So, that being said, uh, how are you going to actually make your prayers properly if you are afraid to wash properly? And in order to do that, and the makeup's going to have to come off, and it's difficult to keep reapplying it over and over again. So yeah, so basically I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. My skin's breaking out. I look crazy. I got makeup on my hijab. It's stressful. It's taking too much time. I can't even reapply all the makeup fast enough in time anyway. So I said, okay, I'm just going to have to give it up. And it was very scary, but that's one thing about Islam, is like Islam, it it breaks, if you really follow and you really practice, it breaks down that ego. It breaks down that ego, and it rebuilds you up into a much better person, and a person that's more confident even, but and you're able to just be yourself, which is weird. People think, okay, well, you're wearing all of this and stuff, how are you going to be yourself? I feel more of myself with this and with no makeup. So, I don't want to sit here and bash. Did the sun pass? No, not yet. I don't want to be here bashing anybody that does wear makeup, and I don't go around being all preachy and, oh, astaghfirullah, and look, she doesn't do that. And I don't do that kind of thing, because we all have our struggles. And a person may be struggling. And for example, maybe it takes a process. Maybe you have to wean yourself away from it. Like, okay, I will not wear the foundation, and I'll just only wear a lipstick. Or you know what? I won't wear very bright lipstick. I'll wear, nude colors. Or maybe I'll forego the lipstick and instead opt for chapstick or lip gloss. So there's ways to kind of wean yourself off of it if you're able to. And it's a process. So, like I say all of this in love. I say all of this because I know that I've struggled with it. Even to a few minutes before filming this, I struggled. I had thoughts of like, maybe I should. So, it's just something that we go through. Maybe we're feeling insecure, self conscious, or what we think society expects of us and what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing women with the full makeup on television. And so we think this is how you should normally appear. But anyway, so yeah, but like I said, if you're a person that's kind of struggling with that, don't be so hard on yourself, and just make steps little by little. If you have to, little by little. Even some days just go without it, like I'll on the weekends I'll take it off. Or I'll try to go one day, or however, whatever you have to do. But definitely keep in mind that your salah is more important, and having proper wudu and turning to Allah in purity is, as much as we possibly can. The true purity is within our hearts, and only Allah knows that. But at the same time, we try our best to come to Him completely bare, in a sense, without any ego, without vanity. And, there's some aspects of that as well, even, colors and, beautiful things, but some things, we have are permissible. So that's just the one thing that I wanted to touch upon. And I had one sister, I remember in um, a message or the chat, of a YouTube video. And I was just trying to give some helpful advice, like, okay, you can use coconut oil. Coconut oil kind of, it moisturizes your lips, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a flush to it. I don't know. I don't know if that's halal either, but it's not makeup. So I don't know. I'm not trying to advise anyone to do anything wrong. But I was mentioning it as a way to kind of wean off of the lipstick. And and even coconut oil for your face, it gives a natural glow, and that type of thing. And one Muslim sister was very upset, and in the comments she was saying, "Oh, I would tell me where it says that you can't wear makeup and this and that, and I don't want to hear that that it has to do with what do you say adornment, that that's not good enough, basically, if you're saying it's just adornment, which yes, some scholars do mention that adornment refers to any type of outward beauty, even as it applies to makeup. So I don't know, I'm no scholar on that. I'm not going to split hairs on if adornment includes makeup or doesn't include makeup. But one thing that I knew for certain that affected me was the fact that how am I going to properly make wudu for my salah and continuously put this makeup on? Do I forego making proper wudu for my prayer because I don't want to mess up my makeup? That was personal and very clear. And so that when I mentioned that to her, I didn't get any comment. I didn't get any response. So, like I said, I hope that this will help some sisters. If you're on the fence of whether you should or not, then, try your best. This is definitely a time, at least, alhamdulillah, with the whole coronavirus thing, we are not in public places as much, so that could be less pressure to actually put on the makeup, and it's a way to start. And so that's all I want to say. And like I say, I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone. I'm not trying to say that I don't have my own things to work on myself. And of course, I may have a strength in one area and have weaknesses in other areas, as we all do. But, like I said, I say it with love, and I hope that this will help someone and know that I understand the struggle. Is people say, "Oh, it's so superficial." Not necessarily when your self esteem is low, and or you just maybe don't feel adequate, or you're just used to doing it. So yeah, so that's I guess that's pretty much it. And I would love to hear a lot of you in the comments. Explain your journey if you did have a problem with wearing makeup and then you were able to come away from that, then help someone else or explain how you did it. And and if you're a person who thinks well, that's just not my struggle that I want to take on right now, then okay, improve in other areas. Sometimes I'm not saying that okay, well, ignore that and only work around it, but for the time being, sometimes we have to strengthen in other areas first before we're able to take on something that's particularly challenging for us. It may not be challenging for someone else, but it's challenging for yourself. And that's okay too, as long as you know that, okay, it's something that I need to work on and I'm going to at least take some steps towards it. So, yeah, so I would love to hear what you guys think about that, and, some comments. And like I said, please, let's not judge each other. Let's not be harsh with each other, but to have love and kindness and understand that none of us are perfect and we're all working to improve our deen. And this is a good time to do it right now. Okay, so I will talk to you later. Yana Seashell signing off. That doesn't really work with this big old umbrella, does it? But oh well, signing off. You know what? Salamu alaikum. What about that? Okay, assalamu alaikum. Signing off.